Hi. I've always been a great believer in we go through things not only to learn for ourselves, but also to share with others. And I had this really good conversation yesterday with a friend who I've known for a very, very long time. And for all the years that we'd, been catching up with each other, she never really understood where I was coming from on a spiritual level. And then something happened with her health, and it kind of woke her up. Once this thing had happened with her health, it was like a wake up call for her of how she had been living her life. And from that point onwards, as she started to take more care for her body and her mind and to let go of stress, she opened up to a more conscious world, and now can see uh, all those years what I was sort of trying to convey to her, but she just couldn't see it at the time. But now she can see it. Once you see things in an openly conscious mind, you can't go back to the way you were. And so she was saying, like, why now? Why now is she like why wasn't she like this 20 years ago or 30 years ago? And I said, I feel like there's been the light workers of this world that have come into this world born with the knowledge and have always stayed on that path to try and open other people's minds, and some people come along with them, and some people just don't hear it. They're stuck in that ego thought and they don't hear it. And they are the ones that, like, because you guys, you follow, you're listening to me right now, which means you are open-minded. You're probably intuitive yourself. You're a healer. You're somebody who's compassionate. You're empathetic. You're developing more and more of this ability, and it feels like we are all needed, because when things change dramatically, there's going to be a lot of people that aren't prepared for that, whereas you are prepared. This is what you're doing for yourself by listening to me, by following astrologers, by listening to life coaches, by doing that yourself, like practicing meditation yourself, by living in your higher state of being. All the things that you're doing for yourself is not only preparing you, it's making you the grounding force for when other people get shocked into this. Because it's like, if you can, like, you may have been someone that was born like I was, like, just you've always known what this world's about and the other world's about. You may have had something happen in your life. It was your turning point, which made you start seeing things differently. Um, you may have just, I don't know, just got to a point where you're thinking there's got to be more to life than just this. And so it doesn't matter when along the journey that you have opened up your consciousness, it's you're still going to be able to be there for people that haven't yet. And we need to do it in a gentle way. I see a lot of people, they'll write on different posts, and they're like, I am so frustrated that people just won't wake up. Like, wake up, people. They're yelling at people to wake up. Like, it's like yelling at a child to go and do something, and they're not going to do it anyway. You've got to be gentle. Like, I've persevered with people for 20 years, and they haven't got it, and then all of a sudden they get it. And it's like, then they go, oh, I now know what you've been trying to say. But should I have given up on them, or do I allow people to do it in their own time frame? And that's what I do. I allow people to become aware in their own time frame when it's right for them. I also could see that if you're somebody that is very you like to be prepared, and you like to know what's coming up, so that you are also protecting yourself from, as I was talking the other day, the familiar and the unfamiliar. If if you're protecting yourself from having a shock of some sort, what you're doing now with researching everything you're reading about and learning about and people you are following, and whether you've made come to a conclusion or not, it doesn't matter. What you're doing is preparing your own body so that it doesn't get any kind of shock. So when a change does come along and something happens, you're ready for it. Like if you start thinking about, when did you start really consciously being more aware of yourself? Was it before COVID? And then when COVID hit, you were in more of a balanced emotional state, so you dealt with it a lot better than people that all of a sudden like went into panic because they weren't prepared at all. So you can see how what you're doing for yourself has prepared you so that you are able to cope a lot better. Because look how many suicides there are. There are suicidal people because they have never been taught resilience. If you're someone that gets knocked down and you find a way to get back up again, if you find that way, that strength, that inner strength, and you keep working on it and you wanting yourself to grow, even though you can have suicidal thoughts, there is still something in you that says, I can fight this. I can actually work out a way to get out of this. And some people just can't. They can't find that resilience inside them. They can't find that strength, and they just want to check out. So, I feel like you guys are the ones that are holding the grounding of the energy to help the people that have just absolutely no clue what's going on, and they're not consciously aware yet. And that's what your role is to talk about discussion, have discussions where they start seeing things. Even if you plant a little seed, they might argue with you and say, no. Like, I have people that have argued. I remember when I was saying that digital currency was going to come in. This was back in 2015, and I also kept telling people the world was out of balance and somehow it was going to come back into balance. And they were saying to me, no, won't happen. And I didn't get mad. Like, I didn't get mad that they didn't want to listen to that. But I thought, well, the people that did want to listen, they're prepared now. The ones that didn't want to listen, now they're coming to me and saying, what's going to happen next? Because now they're starting to panic because they can actually see it is changing and they didn't get themselves ready for it. So that's now they're starting to go, hang on, I should have been listening 6 years ago. And it's okay if you weren't listening 6 years ago. What the important thing is now is to prepare yourself emotionally so that you have that resilience, so that you can cope with change, and so that you can also be there for people around you that find it really, really difficult. So I just feel like I wanted to thank everybody that, like the ones that follow me, follow astrologers, follow all other spirit workers, healers, and those of you that are doing it yourself. I feel like we're just getting bigger and bigger and bigger, and we're holding that energy of that positive energy to counteract the fear, the people that are still living in fear. Because, like, we've got to help people that live in fear to let go of the fear so that, that our frequency can be expanded even higher into that more light frequency. So, I don't know, whereabouts on your journey were you born knowing? Did something happen, a traumatic thing, and did you have a very life or death situation that sort of sparked you into thinking life's got to be a bit more than just what you were thinking from the ego state? Has it been since COVID that that you've changed the way that you're looking at things, and now you're searching the internet to find, you know, more positive, like-minded people. Like, when has it sort of transformed for you? Because if you're watching me, then you are a very aware, consciously aware person, and you're looking for ways to improve yourself all the time. And then it's your role to then help others, because everything we go through in life is so that we can then help others. We're here to serve. All of us have come here to serve. We're not here to just serve ourselves. We don't have to. We do go through things which teach us about ourselves, but we're then supposed to then help others in a kind way, not in a way of I'm right and you're wrong. Um, it's sort of with the compassionate way of talking to each other, and you know, we can agree to disagree. We don't always have to see things the same way, but it's, you know, like just learning how to allow people to have, that's their belief. I've never turned my back on those people, that all those years that I was trying to help people, you know, get out of their stressed lifestyles, and I didn't turn my back on them just because they didn't believe things the way I believed them. I just thought, well, one day it'll dawn on them, and it did. You know, most of the people I've known have had, because they wouldn't listen to their guides, they wouldn't take any advice from, you know, or they wouldn't listen to what I was talking about. They were listening but not taking it on. And every one of them had something traumatic happen in their life where it was like their life was nearly taken away, and that, or they lost everything, or they were heartbroken. So it was the catalyst to making them like see, oh my goodness, look how I've been living my life. There is a lot better way that I could be living it. So I think we're lucky if we wake up to the consciousness ourselves without waiting for the tower moment. You know, like if we decide I'm going to make my life better, I'm going to help other people, so I don't have to go through that life-threatening thing before I get the message. So I just want to thank you so much for what you're doing, the healing that you're doing, the energy that you're keeping grounded, the way you are helping guide other people to see things in a different way, without yelling at them, without belittling them, without intimidating people. You're being just that guidance that you're helping with, and it's very much appreciated. So thank you, and I hope you have a lovely day.